Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His aid, His guidance, His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil actions and evil consequences of our deeds. Whomever Allah guides, there is no misguidance for this person, and whomever Allah misguides, there is no guidance for this person. I bear witness there is no God worthy of worship except Allah alone, having no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad is his slave and last messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. To proceed, today we have the second video or the second class of the riwayah of Qaloon an Nafi'. What Qaloon narrated from Nafi'. Today we reached the ha al-kinaya, kinaya of the pronoun or direct object ha. As in the recitation rules of Hafs and Asim, the normal rule of the kinaya ha or ha ضمير kinaya, the ha that denotes or refers to a single male third person. It is not part of the original root, but its extra letter is voweled and is located between two voweled letters. What the rule now? Not including the cutting hamza, yani if the following letter has vowel but not the one with cutting hamza, then it is lengthened to vowel counts. This is the normal rule for the ha of the kinaya for Hafs or for anyone. But if a disjunctive hamza, which is hamzat al-qata', follows it, it is lengthened like the separated mad, 2 or 4 vowel counts, as it follows like in the word ana. If it is followed by disjunctive hamza, we treat it as the mad munfasil, the separated mad. طيب, let us see what Qaloon is doing in this case. We have about 10 or 8 or more or less words in the Quran, in the whole Quran, which the reciters or the readers or the Qurra differ how to read it. Some of them read it with sukoon, this ha of the kinaya. Some read it with kasra and shorten, that's it, kasra only. And some read it with elongation, to ya, 2 counts, and if there is hamza, it could be according to the separated mad. Let us see what Qaloon is doing in his rule for the kinaya ha. Qaloon reads some words in different way of the normal rules of kinaya ha, shorten it with a kasra and no lengthening. This is what Qaloon is doing. What I put here is how Hafs is reading it, but this how Qaloon, the red one, is how Qaloon reading it, just kasra, no elongation after the kasra, no lengthening after the kasra. We call it shortening or qasr, which is the opposite of mad, elongation. طيب, what the words are? The first word in Ali Imran, ayah 75, he's reading يؤديه, not like Hafs, يؤديه إليك. Hafs will make 4 counts separated mad. He say يؤديه إليك, but how Qaloon will read it? يؤديه إليك ومنهم من إن تأمنه بدينار لا يؤديه إليك. يعني just kasra, just 1 count. But of course this is not the whole ayah, but just I'm concentrating on the part which has the ha of the kinaya. This ha, which we said it's for absent male or the third person, referring to it, it's ضمير, يعني pronoun. طيب, let us see the other words here. نؤته also Hafs read it this way with elongation, but يعني elongated 2 counts because there is no disjunctive hamza after it, but there is hamza, but it doesn't matter for قالون hamza or not hamza. He just put كسرة, means there is no elongation at all. طيب, how he read this other word? نؤته منها, نفس the same without elongation. حفص say نؤته منها, he just 2 counts, here 1 count. نؤته منها. طيب, we have this word is repeated also in Ali Imran verse after this 145, and also is repeated the same word in Surah Ash-Shura ayah 20. ومن يرد حرث الآخرة نؤته منها without طيب, we have also 2 words in Surah An-Nisa. نوليه here how حفص read it. نوليه ما تولى ونصله جهنم. طب how قالون read it. نوليه ما تولى ونصله جهنم without elongation, just كسرة, shortening it. طيب, أرجه same like حفص just سكون and he just كسرة. But this word is repeated in Surah Al-A'raf and Surah Al-Shu'ara. Also in both cases Hafs say like this with sukun, and in both cases قالون say كسرة only. قالوا أرجه وأخاه. طيب, we have also the word ويتقه. ويتقه فأولئك, this for Hafs. He has the only one read this word with قاف ساكن. Any other قارئ will make كسرة for the قاف, but what about the ها? They are different. Some put كسرة only, some put ياء يعني elongated. طيب, what about قالون? The same, he put كسرة only, no elongation. طيب, what about the قاف? We said the only Hafs, he's the one put sukun. This means he will put for the, like everyone else, كسرة for the قاف. But we are talking about the kinayah, he will put only كسرة without elongation. ويخشى الله ويتقه فأولئك هم الفائزون. طيب, نافع, which is the Shaykh of قالون and Warsh. نافع means both قالون and Warsh reads the word ويتقه with a كسرة on the قاف. Only Hafs reads قاف with sukun. طيب, now we're going to other word. يرضه لكم. Yeah, I see the same. This means قالون reads this word same like Hafs and Asim. There is no any difference. He read it with ضمة. يبقى the only word he read it with ضمة, he is reading it like Hafs. Other than this, he is reading with كسرة. طيب, what about this word? Same. You find قالون putting كسرة. What about Hafs? He put سكون. فألقه إليهم. in سورة النمل, and this word is in Surah الزمر آية 7. Here سورة النمل فألقه إليهم. There's no elongation. قالون reads all the above words with a kasra on the ha with no lengthening of the ha. Instead he shorten. We call it قصر, opposite of mad. Shorten with only 1 vowel count. Okay. قالون reads the ha in the word يأته. This is another rule, but he will do both things. يعني يأته in Surah Taha with 2 allowed ways, with a shortening to 1 vowel count, which is his normal rule, and this is the preferred one. and with lengthening to a ya with 2 vowel counts on the ha. This means he will look like Hafs in one, and he like Hafs. If he elongated with ya, lengthening it, he will be like Hafs. And if he get rid of the ya, just kasra, shortening, this means this is his normal rule. This is the only word in the whole Quran which Qaloon read it with 2 ways. One his way, one Hafs way. One without elongation, one with elongation. وَمَن يَأْتِهِ مُؤْمِنًا يَأْتِهِ مُؤْمِنًا. طيب the third rule here, Qaloon reads the ha of the kinaya maksura, no elongation, while Hafs is the only one reads with dhamma in this word. Yeah, these 2 words, only Hafs read them with dhamma, which is one in Surah Al-Kahf, أنسانيه إلا الشيطان وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان أن أذكره. In Surah Al-Kahf, ayah 63, and another one in Surah Al-Fath, ayah 10, بما عاهد عليه الله, عليه الله. طيب, we have تفخيم for the lam here because ضمة before it, but in case of all the other reciters, all of them, they're gonna put kasra, not ضمة like Hafs. Hafs is the only one read both words with ضمة, but here Qaloon reads the ha of the kinaya maksura, يعني with kasra, no elongation, while Hafs is the only one reads it with ضمة. طيب, here وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان. Here بما عاهد عليه الله. Here you make ترقيق for the lam because we have كسرة in the preceding letter. طيب, Qaloon and Warsh read the ha of the word فيه مكسورة. Here how he حفص read it فيه with elongation like Ibn Kathir. But this is the only 2 read this word like this. Other than this, all the Qurra just kasra without elongation. Qaloon and Warsh read the ha of the word fihi maksura with no elongation of the kinaya ha in this ayah. وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا وليست فيه. خلاص, this is easy درس والحمد لله. طيب, now we have 2 hamzas meeting in a word. يعني the word suppose starting with hamza, but I'm gonna put one more hamza for interrogation. 2 adjacent hamzas in one word or in a word. If 2 hamzas meet each other in one word, the first hamza will only carry a fatha, a. طيب, and is called an interrogating hamza, which I'm gonna ask question. Interrogation, يعني we're gonna ask. And the second hamza will be different vowel, يعني it could be fatha, dhamma, kasra. Either with fatha or a dhamma or a kasra, such as in أأنتم, أأنزل, أإذا. Questioning, huh? How Qaloon deal with this? Qaloon has a special rule different from Hafs. Qaloon recites these types of double hamzas with the insertion of an alif in between the 2 hamzas, and then softens, يعني make it easy, makes easing of the second hamza. The first hamza will stay like this, we don't change it. The second one will make it easy. How make it easy? يعني you pronounce it between the hamza and the mad letter, which is looking the same حركة. يعني between the hamza and the alif, and between hamza and the alif for مفتوح, between hamza and the waw for مضمومة, between hamza and the kasr. How? And also we're gonna insert alif between both hamza. After I make this easing or softening the hamza, I insert alif between them. This alif we elongate as we elongating the first hamza 2 counts like this. إذا أنزل أنتم. Do you notice how I pronounce the second hamza? إذا, huh? But some people say he. No, we don't pronounce ha. It's the same hamza but يعني just little bit slipping from the مخرج يعني. Make it soft. طيب قالون, this how the normal rule, the general rule for قالون for these two hamzas in one word. طيب he make the second one easy or soft and insert alif between them. طيب قالون recites these types of double hamzas with the insertion of an alif in between the two hamzas and then softens, makes easing of the تسهيل of the second hamza. This is the first and general rule. طيب is there is any exceptions? We're gonna read now. قالون also reads the word أشاهدوا, this how حفص reading it in سورة الزخرف آية 19 with two hamzas. He gonna ask but with two hamzas. Here أشاهدوا also a question but here he will add one more hamza. Of course the first one will have ضمة ميم فتحة. طيب and he will change the second one to ضمة. أشهد. طيب ها gonna read it same. He will insert alif and make تسهيل easy for the second hamza with softening تسهيل of the second hamza which has ضمة with and without the insertion of an alif between the two hamzas. يعني he will read it into two allowable ways. One way he will make تسهيل for the hamza, easy hamza without inserting, and one with inserting alif. طيب this is the general rule and this is the exception from it. He will read this word with two ways. Both he will make تسهيل for the hamza, easy hamza, one when inserting alif, one without. أشهد. طيب what else exception? We have two other words. All the readers who has work with this hamza will just make تسهيل without inserting. Just they will make تسهيل without inserting. طيب قالون also reads some words with the softening تسهيل of the second hamza only without the insertion. This means we have rule in all of them insertion, another rule one word has only تسهيل with and without insertion, and now without insertion, without إدخال ألف, without putting alif between the two hamzas. قالون also reads some words with the softening of the second hamza only without the insertion. It is forbidden to insert an alif in between the two hamzas in the following words. First, the word آمنتم, which Fir'aun gonna say it in the story of Musa in 3 surahs. In its 3 places, Surah Al-A'raf, this is the number of the ayah, 133, Taha 71, and Ash-Shu'ara 49. And the second word is آلهتنا in Surah Al-Zukhruf, ayah 58. How he gonna read it? Just تسهيل for the second hamza, that's it. طب why he doesn't insert here? Because how we will have 4 hamza or 4 alif? We are not allowed for that. طيب just here he say just make تسهيل for the hamza. The reason the insertion is not allowed in these words is because it will have a collection of 4 alifs, which is forbidden. i.e. if we add an extra alif to the 3 hamzas found in these 2 words. The first, the questioning one, interrogating hamza, The second, the hamza with the fatha, which we gonna make tasheel for it. This we gonna softening it, and we have the third hamza already changed into alif. The third hamza sakina, which has been changed into an alif. طيب, the softening tasheel of the second hamza only is allowed here, and also in the following words. Here, this word is different in the style. أئمة, actually it has two hamzas, but is not for interrogating. The first one is not for questioning or interrogating hamza. It's not interrogating hamza. For this reason, he has only tasheel here, softening only. There is no insertion in this word. There is no question also. The word أئمة, he said أئم, أئم, where it is found in the Quran, where you meet this word, you're gonna make tasheel only, softening it. Okay, it's very easy rule, alhamdulillah. Now we're gonna move to repeated interrogation. What mean repeated interrogation? In one phrase, الاستفهام المكرر مرتين في آية. يعني interrogating twice in an ayah. An interrogation hamza carry a fatha. We memorize this very well. أهي. And the second hamza carries a kasra, such as in أإذا, and so and so and so. أإنا, here أإذا كنا ترابا أإنا لفي خلق جديد. This how Hafs reading it, but not the way of Qaloon. Let us read how Qaloon read this repeated interrogation. يعني the question is repeated twice. He will not ask twice, actually. He will ask only once. And the second one will not be question. Let us read. Qaloon recites these types of repeated question with only one question in the first. The first one will stay as question. Interrogation here, position. And with the proclaiming, يعني إخبار, for the second position, means he will drop the hamza, first hamza of interrogation. He will drop it with one hamza only. He will read it dropping the first interrogating hamza, and thus the word turned into a statement and not a question. Qaloon reads, we mentioned up that he was reading the double hamzas with the insertion, we just read it now, of an alif in between them with softening. The second hamza makes easy the second hamza. So we will do same here. For the first position only, which he will ask, means two hamzas. Hafs reads this way. He say أإذا كنا ترابا أإنا لفي خلق جديد. But how Qaloon read it? وإن تعجب فعجب قولهم أإذا. He will insert alif and make tasheel. أإذا كنا ترابا إنا لفي خلق جديد. He dropped the first alif, which or hamza, which is for the interrogation or questioning. He dropped it. You notice here, just the second one is there. But here he make tasheel for the first one and he inserted the alif. Is clear, alhamdulillah? We have how many this repeated interrogation? Repeated interrogation. How many? Or repeated questions? We have 11 in the Quran. In the whole Quran, we have 11 ones. Type. How Qaloon read all of them the same way, just questioning in the first position and informing or proclaiming in the second one. No, he has exception in two positions where Naml and Ankabut. He do the opposite in Naml and Ankabut. The Quran has 11 places of repeated questions, which Qaloon reads them with the same way except two places. He reads them the opposite way means with a proclamation إخبار for the first position and يعني one همزة and question in the second one, i.e. with two همزas. In سورة النمل and 67 and العنكبوت 2 ayahs. Here I have collected them from the book of الأصول النيرات. جزاه الله خيرا who made it. وقلة الاستفهام المكرر في القرآن but is only in Arabic, but I know that you know Arabic إن شاء الله. 11 موضوع means 11. 9 استفهام في الأولى وأخبر في الثانية، يعني 9 asking in the first and informing in the second. واثنان أخبر في الأولى the opposite to like this how he's doing إذا إن, but he say إذا إن and the opposite will be إذا أين. طيب here just I got them collected to show you where what the ayat are and which surahs they are. طيب here reading this is how Hafs read it, both questioning, but for Qaloon he only questioning in the first position, the other one no question, but she of course collected them from Hafs Mus'haf, you find all of them have questions except the one which she show the Qaloon's way. طيب here the two which has exception in سورة النمل والعنكبوت. Here this one the ayah in Naml and these 2 ayahs in Ankabut. طيب he read it the opposite way. إذا أين easy إن شاء الله الحمد لله. طيب now we're gonna move to something else. 2 adjacent hamzas in 2 words. The preceding one was in 1 word, but now we will have 2 adjacent hamzas in 2 words. How they look like? Now let us see how. Look here, one at the end of the first one at the beginning of the second one, and let us see if 2 hamzas meet between 2 words. The first hamza is the last letter of the first word and the second hamza is the first letter of the second word. There are different ways of reading the words depending on the vowels of the 2 different hamzas. Now I'm gonna give you قانون or law. باب الهمزتين من كلمتين. I want you to memorize this law, will help you to know what to do when you see the word which has 2 hamzas, if the 2 hamzas look like each other or different. If you memorize this law, inshallah you will not have any troubles when you see 2 hamzas for Qaloon or other than Qaloon. It's very easy. Just memorize that the hamzas are opposite of the narrators, opposite from the narrators. What means if the hamzas look like each other, يعني the same, يعني coincide, يعني typical فتحة, يعني the same vowel or ضمة or كسرة, يعني the hamza look like each other, يعني there is no any difference. Both فتحة, both ضمة, both كسرة means they coincide or they are same. We said that the hamzas are opposite of narrators, means if the hamzas coincide, يعني both same, the narrators will be opposite. Well, what will be the narrators? The narrators will differ, and after the narrators differ, what they do? Everyone goes to a different hamza. Qaloon goes to the first one and Warsh goes to the second one. This if the hamzas coincide or typical. يعني agreed with each other. The narrators differ. Everyone goes to a different hamza. The first narrator goes to the first hamza. The second narrator goes to the second hamza. Is easy inshallah. And we have the opposite. If the hamzas differ, the narrators will coincide or agreed upon one hamza, which is the second one. طب let us read this and explain it one more time. The two hamzas of two words are of opposite from narrators. The two identical hamzas يعني coincide, identical, same, the same vowel on both. Identical or coincide, having the same vowel, then نافع narrators will differ because they are opposite from each other. Remember the hamzas opposite from narrators. طيب, now the hamzas identical or coincide, then the narrators will differ, and after they differ, each goes to a different hamza. قالون goes to the first one and change it as his rules, and Warsh goes to the second one, change it as his rules. Now let us see what قالون doing for the first hamza. He's gonna do his rules depending on what the vowel is, depending on the type of vowel, and of course Warsh changes the second one. Let us see what قالون doing if both hamza has fatha. Will have low and the other two has another low. If the two hamzas fatha, he will drop the first one. It's his hamza. We said he will go to the first one. In all of these, which identical vowel, this قالون will deal the first one. If it both has fatha, he will drop the first one. But dhamma or kasra, he will make it easy. He will soften the first one. Okay, let us read. If both hamzas have a fatha, قالون drops the first one. Accordingly, reads the two words with two allowable ways of lengthening. The first, which is preferred, 2 beats mad, and then 4 as in the separated mad. Let us see. It was the word جاء. It was mad متصل. The connected or attached mad, which we elongated 4. طيب. But if he drops the hamza, now what will we have? We will have the mad letter here and the hamza on the second word. Means this look like the separated mad, and we drop the hamza completely. This means I don't have any hamza anymore for the first one. I'm gonna read it جاء أحد. The second way جاء أحد. 1 2 counts, 1 4 counts. Why? Because we drop the hamza. The preferred one will be 2. This is how the separated mad is preferred for قالون. And second one will be 4. We have another word جاء أمرنا. جاء أمرنا. Only one hamza. You read جاء. Only جاء. خلاص. This is if both hamza has fatha. For قالون, he will drop the first one. طيب, if dhamma or kasra, what he will do, just softening the first hamza with the opposite. Here we took the 2 first, which is preferred, and then elongated 4. But if we soften, we have the opposite. You still have the 4 because this is the connected mad, the attached mad متصل. Even if you soften the hamza, still we have traces of the hamza. You're gonna pronounce it there. You still have part of the hamza, you still pronounce it. It's still there. This means you make the 4 first and the 2 second. If both hamzas have a kasra, such as in هؤلاء in أو السماء in, which is mad متصل, connected mad here 4, or dhamma like here. This is the only word in the Quran. أولياء أولئك, as in the soul example. This is a soul example in the Quran which has dhamma. but you could find كسرة a lot, فتحة a lot, but except this the only one in سورة الأحقاف. طيب قالون soften the first همزة accordingly reads the two words with two allowable ways of lengthening the first, which is the preferred four beats mad, and the second will be the two, because it's as in the separated mad, يعني 4 and 2 as in the separated mad. And the shortening of the length shortening of the lengthening to two vowel counts relating to the changed hams, because we changed the hams, we make it soft. This is why we make it shortening for it. After it was only 4, but now we will not read it 4 anymore. We read it sometime 4 and the other time 2. طيب Imam Shatibi referred to this rule. He told us why we read it 2 again and the 4 is preferred, which all reciters follow when there is a softened hamza like this. وإن حرف مد, يعني when you change the hamza, he said وإن حرف مد قبل همز مغير يجوز قصره والمد ما زال أعدله. He's speaking about the mad letter here before the hamza, which we make changing for it with changing, يعني either you softening it or either you drop it or either you change it. وإن حرف مد قبل همز مغير يجوز قصره. It's okay to make shortening for it, but it's more fair to elongate it. It's more fair to elongate it because the hamza still there. If a mad letter was before a changed hamza, it is allowed to be shortened, but its lengthening is more fair or more just. Yeah. Also another one who's talking about this thing, Imam Ibn al-Jazari clarified it in his poem طيبة النشر. والمد أولى إن تغير السبب أو بقي الأثر فقصر أحب. The mad is preferred if its reason changed, and the remnants, يعني traces of the hamza, يعني part of the hamza, remnants of the hamza still there, remain, or if not, other than this, the mad, يعني elongation or the extension for or lengthening for 4. Otherwise you will make shortening is loved also. يعني he just to end the word here ba and here ba, he say like this. طيب, let us see. Some scholars forbade to shorten a soften obligatory connected mad. Didn't we say we read it 1 time 2, 1 time 4? They say if you have a mad منفصل, يعني the separated mad with the mad متصل, which the hamza of it you're gonna make changing for it, we're gonna read it 1 time 4, 1 time 2. Don't read the 2 when you elongate the separated mad. Why? Because the separated mad supposed to be weaker than the connected mad. The connected mad is stronger than the separated mad. Even if you soften its hamza, you're gonna read 4 and 2, but if you make this 4, you're gonna make this 4 only. Don't make this weaker and make it 2, while the weaker is 4. They say we are not allowed to do this, and some say it's okay to we could allow. Some scholars forbade to shorten a soften obligatory connected mad when you have a lengthening 4 beats permitted separated mad with 4 vowel counts. This why Qaloon reads it in 6 allowable ways instead of 8, as in, you remember when we say if we have a combination in the first video we said if we have a combination of mim الجمع and مد منفصل, the separated mad, now we're gonna add the 2 hamzas suppose we have 8 يعني multiply 2 by 2 by 2 because he read this with two ways سكون and connection يعني for wow, and he reads the separated mad with two ways shortening and 4 2 and 4, and he will read the 2 hamza also with two ways يعني you make it 4 after you softening it and you make it 2 shortening it. This means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 will be 8, but he will read it 6 only because some scholars say no, you are not allowed to elongate the separated mad while you are shortening the connected mad even if you soften the hams. This means we're gonna drop this twice, one time with the second meme, one time with the connected meme. This is why there are 6 allowable ways instead of 8. And here is the ayah. طيب we have another word which you told us the general rule for قالون. If the 2 hamzas has كسرة or ضمة, he will soften the first hamza and then read it with 4 and 2. No, but he has an exception for only one word in the whole Quran. He read it with the third way, allowable way. He will change the hamza into a mad letter following the preceding vowel, which we have dhamma here. This means he will change it into wow, and then the wow second before it will be merged with it. Then he will read it with wow mushaddada. طيب, let us read. قالون has an exception of reading one word in the whole Quran. بالسوء إلا, how he read it? In Surah Yusuf, ayah 53. Suppose he has like first hamza تسهيل, يعني softening it with 4 mad and then with 2. This is the 2 ways generally he is reading any word has 2 hamza by this way. Which has both hamzas that have a kasra in an extra way. He will read this word in an extra way, i.e. Reads it in 3 ways. First one, reading it with ease, lengthening 4 beats mad. Second one, 2 vowel counts with the same ease. The third one, he also changes it, يعني altering it or changing it into a mad letter following the vowel preceding the hamza, which has dhamma here. The scene has dhamma. This means he will change the hamza into wow because the preceding letter has dhamma. Into a wow. Accordingly, after he changing into a wow, reads with assimilation or idgham or merging with the previous wow, because this wow will have kasra and the other wow will have sukun. We merge both, will be بالسوء إلا. بالسوء will be only wow, one wow with shadda, mushaddad يعني with shadda. Okay, it's easy, alhamdulillah. طيب, we finished now talking about the 2 hamzas from 2 words which identical. Now we're gonna talk about the opposite. In case if the 2 hamzas of the 2 words are opposite, not coincide, not identical. We know from the beginning that the narrators are opposite, on the opposite of the hamzas. This means if this identical or coincide, the narrators will differ, and if the hamzas are differ, the narrators will agreed upon only one hamza, which is the second one. All of them, nine narrators will come to the second hamza and apply a rule. طيب, let us read. The 2 hamzas of 2 words are of opposite from narrators. If the 2 hamzas differ, يعني have different vowels, then the 2 narrators of نافع coincide. On the second hamza, all of them will come on the second hamza. Qaloon and 8 others agreed upon reading the second hamza with a certain way. They're gonna apply a law. Is very easy, depending on where the fatha is. We will have two hamzas. If the first hamza is fatha, we have law. If the second hamza is fatha, we have another law. If there is no fatha, both of them have different than fatha, we will have the third law. Okay. طيب. If you like to memorize it in Arabic, فتح الأولى سهل means I make تسهيل for the second one. فتح الثانية أبدل means I make إبدال for the second one. غير ذلك أبدل وكذلك سهل means if I don't have فتحة I make إبدال and تسهيل. Let us read this in English. If the first همزة مفتوحة, like we have two examples here. The first one has فتحة means the second will have either ضمة either كسرة. قالون soften the second one. Now why قالون is working on the second one? Because now we have different law from the other one. Now we have this different hamzas. The hamzas are different. This fatha, this dhamma, this fatha, this kasra. They are different now. This means that all 9 rawi will come on the second one, apply the same rule. What the rule? Say, if you have the first one has fatha, go to the second one and make it easy. Soften it. If the first hamza مفتوحة, قالون soften the second hamza. طيب, either the second one has dhamma, either the second one has kasr. Let us read it. How he will read it? The first one is mad متصل, connected mad 4. We do it same. But come to this one and make easy, between the fatha and the alif, and make this easy between the kasra and the ya. جاء أمه تفيء إلى. Easy inshallah. طيب, now we're gonna see if the second one has fatha, not the first one. Now we have different rule. Instead of easing, we're gonna exchange it or altering it. Exchange the second one. All the work will be on the second one. I'm paying your attention. A, B, C. All the work will be on the second hamza. But first time we're gonna make tasheel, softening it. The second time, if the second one which has hamza, we're gonna change it into a letter of mad according to the preceding hamza vowel. طيب, if there is no fatha, there's no anyone has fatha, carrying fatha, we will have to do both, softening and changing for the second hamza. Let us read here the second case. If the second hamza مفتوحة, قالون changes the second into the second hamza also, it's the same. A mad letter according to the preceding vowel, i.e. the first hamza. If it has a dhamma, if the first one has dhamma like this one, this means he will change the second hamza into waw, into a waw. طيب, let us read it. لو نشاء أصبناهم. This how حفص read it. طب how قالون read it? He gonna change this hamza into a letter of mad according to the dhamma here on the first hamza, because we are working on the second hamza on the 3 cases. First one we softening it if there is fatha on the first one. Second one we change it into a letter of mad following the vowel on the first one if the second one has fatha. This means he will say لو نشاء وصبناهم بقت واو with fatha. And if the first hamza has a kasra, this if the first one has dhamma, say we change it in the second one into waw. طب if the first one has a kasra, not dhamma, you're gonna change the second one into ya. من السماء أو, you're gonna say it من السماء يو, ya with the fatha. طيب, من السماء آية, he will say من السماء ياية. Why ya? Because if you change this into a letter of mad following the vowel. Here the vowel is kasra. This mean will be ya. Here if the dhamma, you're gonna change into wow. Dhamma, you're gonna change it into wow. Easy, alhamdulillah. طيب, let us go to the third case, which we don't have any مفتوحة. Both of them have one has dhamma, one has kasr. This is how it has in the Quran. We don't have the opposite way. This is why we have 5. We don't have 6. يعني we don't have the first one has kasra and the second one has dhamma. Only the first one has dhamma and the second one has kasr. We have a lot of words in the Quran, but the first one has to have dhamma. But we don't have the opposite in the Quran. We don't have the first one has kasra and the other one has dhamma. No. The first one always have dhamma and the second one always has kasr. This means you're gonna change it into wow, either softening it. If the there is no maftuha, there is no any fatha on the first hamza or the second hamza. The first hamza has a dhamma and the second has a kasra. Qaloon changes the second hamza into a waw and softening it in the same time. Yani you will have 2 allowed ways. Not only Qaloon, these 9 narrators will do this. Here is the ayah, أنتم الفقراء إلى الله. This is how Hafs read it. But how Qaloon will read it, because I don't have the first one maftuha or the second one. If the first one maftuha, I'm gonna make tasheel, softening this. But if the second one maftuha, I'm gonna change it into a mad letter. But now there's no maftuha. I'm gonna soften and change the second hamza in the same time. This means I will read it أنتم الفقراء ولا الفقراء ولا الله. طب the second one الفقراء ولا. This is the tasheel and this is the changing. طب I have another word يشاء إلى أهي يهدي من يشاء إلى. One time I will read it يشاء ولا. The second time I will read it يشاء إلى. تسهيل. We notice that all of these rules are applicable to the second hamza only in the connecting recitation. But if you stopped on the first hamza for out of control يعني reason, يعني test, for example, the sheikh is asking you stop here, or you sneezed, or you coughing, or anything, any out of control reason, يعني because the meaning is not complete. If you say يهدي من يشاء and you stop and you start say إلى, there is no reason to do this in your connecting recitation. But just in case, if the sheikh told you stop here, you're gonna read the following hamza with hamza, يعني like Hafs. إلى, you will not say ولا or with tasheel. We can't start like this. We start like the normal case you pronounce the hamza. You start the second without any changes, even if it is not a good place to stop, as the meaning requires to connect them. We have to connect them for the meaning. But I say in case if any emergency, stopped here, then you start the following one, pronounce the hamza without any change, no softening, no anything. طيب, here we have this we talked before, but I prefer to put it after we talk about the hamza. Will be only is understandable more now. If we have a plural meme, the word ana and separated mad, this mean we will have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 will be 8 ways allowable to read it, except if we have the especially if we have the hamza has kasra, because he read it with 2 ways. He keep the alif or get rid of the alif, drop it. And here is the ayah. Notice the changes start from the left side, the end of the verse, and step by step goes to, I said the same in the first video, but I'm repeating them here just in case if you like to understand more. This is the right place to put it actually, because I put them before I explain what we do for the 2 hamzas. Here first we'll keep this mad separated mad shorten, and this meme will be sakin. This is following the first separated mad, this is also following it. And here the word ana will follow the separated mad. First I will keep it with the shortening, and the second we will come back from the end of the ayah, we drop it. This is the second way we drop it. If I have the long zero, means you keep it only, you pronounce the alif if you stop on it, but if you connect it, you're gonna drop it. This is why I left it like this. طيب, after shortening the separated mad and sakin meme, and same here, shortening and keeping the alif with two vowels, the second one dropping the alif. طيب, the second way, what we're gonna do, elongating shortening separated mad connected meme. Yeah, because the mad came first, we'll stay here until the fifth step. We'll stay shortening for the first four. Here we will come to the meme, we'll make connection into steps. One of them I keep the alif of ana, one I drop the alif of ana. And here we start to lengthening the separated mad for the rest four of the ways. We have lengthening the same. But we have two types, sukun meme twice, because one time we keep alif ana, other one we drop alif ana. And then connecting the meme, one time we keep alif ana, one time we drop it. Inshallah easy. Here Qaloon could have 8 allowable ways. If we, instead of ana, we will have 2 hamzas, because we read also the 2 hamzas in 2 ways. In the verse, the combination, instead of ana, we have 2 different vowels, hamzas, of 2 adjacent words. The first hamza has dhamma and the second has kasra. You remember what we did? We changed the second hamza into a letter of mad, and we softening it. This is the last step for the 2 hamzas. طيب, we will have 2 will be 8. Here the example. طيب, Qaloon could have 6, not 8 allowable ways of reading. When we said the scholars dropped and they are not allowed you to elongate, to shorten the connected mad. Even the hamza is softening when you elongate the separated mad. This why it becomes 6, not 8, because we have 2 forbidden. Some scholars forbid to shorten a soften obligatory connected mad with when you have a lengthening 4 beats permitted separated mad with 4 vowel counts. This why Qaloon reads it in 6 allowable ways instead of 8. 8 minus 2 forbidden will give you 6. And here is the ayah. You could practice, inshallah. Try to practice according what I explained before. Now I'm gonna explain this last point, because I think I will tell you why. We have to read the last alif either with an opening sound like hafs, or minor or major deflection, يعني inclination of the alif, which we call it imala, al-imala. Deflection of particular vowels from the fatha towards the kasra, or from the alif towards the ya sound. Qaloon reads all the words with an open sound, reads only one word with a minor deflection, taqleel, which is at-tawrah, and major deflection only one word, here in Surah At-Tawbah. At-Tawrah, wherever you meet it, here read it 2 ways. One way like hafs, open sound, at-Tawrah. The other way, taqleel or minor deflection, yani inclination towards, yani very close to the alif but towards the kasra. التوراة راه. طيب he has two ways. You might refer also to these combinations which we mentioned before when you have meme, the plural meme and separated mad and the word Torah. He read every one of them into two ways. This means 2 by 2 by 2 will be 8 ways also. Huh? When we talk about the word Torah, as Qaloon reads it with 2 ways. One is like Hafs and the other one is like Warsh, yani with a minor deflection. If we have also plural meme and separated mad, then we will have 2 by 2 by 2 will be 8. No, but will not read it with 8. We have 3 forbidden ways of reciting the Torah, if you have the whole combinations. What are the 3 forbidden ones? The first one, if you have meme sakin and shortened separated mad, it's forbidden to open sound for the Torah, like Hafs. You are forbidden. Type. If we have connected meme, either shortened separated mad, either lengthened separated mad, we have 2 opposite ways here. Connected meme, shortened separated mad, you are not allowed to read it with a minor deflection. This means you have to open it. When you have connected meme, you have to have open sound to read it at Torah. Type. The opposite here. If you have connected meme, lengthened separated mad, you are not allowed to read it in open sound. You have to make taqleel, yani to make minor deflection. You say at-Tawrah. But if you open it, no, you are not allowed. This means we drop this. We will have 6 ways only. 5. 5 ways if you read instead of 8. But last video, I think this was the opposite here. This is the only mistakes. This is why I'm repeating this here in this class. طيب inshallah we're gonna stop here. Next time we're gonna talk about the single hamza. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.